If we are, let's see here. Testing. Let's see here. Alrighty, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video on the channel today, and today we have a new series against the Jackson Generals. We're both 4-1. I'm really kind of excited about this because we're both good teams. We're both at the top. They're technically first, I think, on the listing, and then there's the Smokies, and then there's us. But with that being said, it's gonna be Connor Pilkington versus JB Bukakus. They're both very similar pitchers, roughly the same ERA, same amount of strikeouts. I think Pilkington had one more. But overall it's about kind of the same, as we're gonna have a slight change for this game. I kind of want to see Daniel Gonzalez, and let's see who else. Yeah, that should be it. Actually, who plays? Oh, Jang plays left. Who plays? Okay, yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll just put Daniel Gonzalez in for the catcher position, just so that way we can hopefully get a little bit better batting there. They have a bunch of really young players that have a lot of potential. Christian Robinson, the 6th hitter for them. He's 19, I believe, and I think has something crazy for sure. And I'm definitely interested to see what he can do. But other than that, I'm not too worried. As you can see here, JB Bukakus is taking the mound. He played 5.2 innings. I think Pilkington played 4 or something like that. But up to bat, we have Ronald Escalona, our #1 hitter, who's been doing pretty decent for us. As he's going to hit this one really well, but that'll just actually go right to the left. Oh, he misses it. The left fielder missed that one, as he looks like he just couldn't quite place the ball. So that'll be a double for Ronald Escalona, his 2nd of the season as well. William Jennings up to bat now, as he's a runner at 2nd base already in this first inning, as he's going to foul this one off, as it's now an 0-1 count. He's going to look at a slider then. That's going to be 1-1. I'd also like to give a huge shout out to Taekwon Forbes for following the Instagram page for this team, as William Jennings is going to get hit by the pitch there, as he's going to take a walk, as it's, I believe, his 2nd of the season. Up to bat now, we have the power hitter Reid, who's been on a tear lately, and hopefully he can keep that up against the Generals. But as I was saying, huge shout out to Taekwon Forbes for following the Instagram page for this series. That really just means a lot, and it's also super cool. We're going to 1-0 pitch here, as he's going to swing on a slider there, and that's going to be a 1-1 count. He's going to swing on a low fastball there, so it's now a 1-2 count, and Reid's quickly falling behind. And he's going to swing and miss, as that's going to be Bukakus' first strikeout of the day. Up to bat now, we have Matt Skol, who's been batting a lot better lately than he did for the first few games. He's going to look at a strike there, and it's going to be a 0-1 count. Yeah, as I said, he's been batting a lot better lately. He's been getting his average up. So that's right down the middle, as he really could have cracked that one. Instead, he's looking at an 0-2 count. And that's going to be a pitch on the outside, and it's going to be 1-2. Instead, Skol's going to swing and miss at that one, as it's now the second strikeout for him on the day and the second out this inning. Up to bat now we have Mike Adolfo, who's also been picking up his performance a little bit up with the plate. He's going to swing at that one and miss. Getting some home runs lately and also just being more productive, just overall on the plate, being more patient. Definitely seeing the improvements there. As he's going to pop this one up, and that will end this inning as we do not capitalize on the 2 runners, as it's going to be the end of the top of the first. Connor Pilkington's now going to take the plate. As you can see here, he's a little bit more strikeout prone than Bukakus on the other side. He actually played the same amount of innings. He can't have those hits as well. Up to bat is Kevin Merrill, as he's going to look at a strike, and that will make it a 0-1 count. That's going to be tipped, and that will be a foul ball on the sliders. It's now 0-2. I'm really kind of impressed, or not impressed, excited to see what Connor Pilkington can do. I feel like he's definitely got some potential to possibly move up, as he's going to strike out the first batter that he sees today, so that's going to be the first out of the inning. To bat now we have Corbin Carroll, the designated hitter. Looks like he's having a little bit of a slump to start off the season, and he's looking to turn that around against us. As this will be hit on over to Tim Beckham, and that will be a routine play for an out. Up to bat they have their first baseman, Toglia, who's also been kind of struggling as well. So this is going to be hit on over to Escalona, who's going to make a routine play, and that will be the third out of the inning. Up to bat now we have Daniel Gonzalez, the catcher for this game. See if he can get something going in the way of the batting side of things, as he's really not been that productive in the way of batting. As he's going to swing and miss at that slider there. This is now 0-2. With the late spike in production from Mike Adolfo and Beckham, is Daniel Gonzalez is going to swing and miss at that, as that's going to be the third strikeout for Bukakus. Anyway, with the late spike of production from Mike Adolfo, Tomsha is going to get that in, as that's going to be a base hit. Again, as I was saying, with the late production spike of Tim Beckham, Mike Adolfo, we're likely going to possibly see one of the two get called up here fairly soon. And then with that, we're going to have to kind of make an adjustment as to who plays what after that, because we can't keep them down here, unfortunately, forever. They do have to eventually kind of keep moving up. As Tim Beckham's looking at an 0-1 count here, as he's going to hit this, as that's going to go really close, but not quite out, as that will be met at the warning track. Up to bat now we have Zach Remillard, who took last game off just so he can get kind of a day off. He's definitely a very productive hitter. I almost view him kind of as the first leadoff hitter, almost, or the second, or however you want to see it, being the ninth hitter. As he's going to hit this one very well, but that'll be just that'll be short of anything, as the left fielder will get that. Up to bat now we have Hunter Bishop, who's going to hit this on over to AJ Reid, who's just going to grab it and then tap the plate for the first out, as Connor Pilkington's actually been kind of on a tear lately, as it seems like he definitely has the first inning run struggle over, as he's going to throw a strike here. It seems like he's definitely starting to put pieces together, which is what we really need to see from him. As he's going to throw a strike here from a slider, as that's going to be an 0-2 count now for Drew Ellis. As Ellis is going to hit this on out to Tomsha, who will make the catch out and right, and that will be second out of the inning. Up to bat now, we have Christian Robinson, who's a very young center fielder. He has a lot of potential for sure, and he could definitely make his way up the rankings over the next couple of years, for sure. As he's definitely got a lot of potential. He's got the pieces there to be able to find himself on a major league team here pretty soon. This is going to foul that one off, as it's now an 0-2 count. Connor Pilkington's going to throw a fastball here, but that'll be fouled off yet again. Christian Robinson's definitely had a little bit of a slump to start off the season in the way of batting, which I feel like is probably his weak point, as that's going to be a very generous call for a strike, as Christian Robinson is very mad at that one, as Connor Pilkington is looking over towards the Generals dugout, but as he will walk away, and that will take us to the top of the third. Up to bat now, we have Ronald Escalona, who got a double off of the play, his last plate appearance, which was pretty big, especially because the outfielder didn't see where the ball was, and just let the ball go. We're going to an 0-1 count now, as he's going to swing yet again at a very, very poorly placed pitch, and that's we're looking at an 0-2 count now, as that one's also going to be outside, but Escalona seemingly is catching on to where Bukakus is going to put his pitch, as he is looking at a 1-2 count now, as that's going to be in the dirt, and Escalona's going to swing, and that'll be just a regular out, and that will be the first of this inning, as that will be the fourth strikeout on the day for him. Up to bat now, we have William Jang, who was hit by the pitch in the first appearance, as he's going to hit this one right up the middle, as that's going to be stopped by the shortstop. That was a tongue twister. Stopped by the shortstop, and that will be a base hit for Jang. And AJ Reid will now be up to bat, as he's 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. He's going to swing at a high fastball there, and that will be a strike. AJ Reid's definitely one of those players that he's definitely up there in age and doesn't have a lot of major league experience, but I can definitely see him making a push for it. He's going to crack this one, as that's going to go towards center field, as that will not quite reach, and they will snatch it out there in the warning tracks. So up to bat now with Matt Skol, who's 0 for 1 on the day, as he's struck out as well, as he's going to swing at a high fastball here, as it's now an 0-1 count. Matt Skol was taken, I believe, in the 5th round back in 2014, I want to say, as he's going to foul this one off again. And he hasn't quite panned out to what the White Sox would like, as Jennings is just going to move back over to first, as it looked like they were trying to pick him off there. Skol hasn't exactly amounted to much in his career so far, and he's kind of hoping to turn that around here. He's going to swing and miss for the strikeout, and that'll end the inning, as he's now 0 for 2 on the day. Connor Pilkington is going to throw a strike here, as this ump has really been kind of generous. As sorry, I'm looking how to say the batter's name. Margelio will foul that one off, as he's 1 for 5, it looked like, on the season. As that's going to be a fair ball, as AJ Reid did not quite pick it up, and that will be a base hit, and that will be the first hit for the Generals this game. Up to bat now, there's Anthony Greer, who looks like he's having a really good season up to this point, a 500 average. He's the right fielder, I believe. He's technically listed as a center fielder, and but they're putting him out in right, and he's also fairly young with a lot of potential. And I'm definitely expecting him to climb up the ranks and possibly even be on the Diamondbacks team here pretty soon, as he's going to strike out here, as that will be another for Connor Pilkington, his third on the day. Up to bat now, we have Golly Cribbs Jr., who's having a 308 average so far this season, as that's really good. I'm expecting a lot of call-ups to happen here fairly soon, as that's going to be another strike here, as he's looking at an 0-2 count. That'll be just inside for a ball, and Cribbs not by. He's going to foul this one off here, as that's now a 1-2 count. That'll be a slider just outside the zone for a ball, and that'll make it 2-2. And he'll get him to swing at that, and he'll strike out for Pilkington's fourth of the day. Yeah, and this late in the season, especially, well, not necessarily late, but this with how much progress we made in the season, especially considering, especially in the majors, I definitely think that they'd call up someone. He's going to strike out. That's going to be Pilkington's fifth of the day, and that will end the inning. Up to bat now, we have Mike Rodolfo, who popped out in his first plate attempt, and he's looking to change that around here. He's going to swing at a low fastball there, and that'll make it an 0-1 count. Rodolfo is on the 40-man roster, so it's very well possible that he can make that White Sox team at any moment, as he's going to swing a fastball here. So that means he'll be going to spring training, and we will be covering that. Those games and as such, as he's going to swing and miss for the sixth strikeout now for Bukakus. Up to bat now, we have Daniel Gonzalez, who struck out in his last appearance, as he's going to swing at a fastball here for an 0-1 count. He's going to let this one go, as that's going to make it a 1-1 count now for Daniel Gonzalez. As I was saying, Adolfo really has probably the one, as of right now, him and Tim Beckham have probably the highest chances of making the White Sox team and staying on the roster, just because they're probably the two best players. Daniel Gonzalez is going to swing, and it's going to hit the dirt, and that will be an out for the Generals. Or an out for the Barons, I should say. Up to bat, we have Dominic Margelio, who I'm very high on as well, but I don't believe he'll be climbing up the ranks for another season or two. So he still has a lot of developing to do. As he's going to take a ball there, as he's now 1-0 on the count. He's going to pop this one up here, as that will just fall right into the glove of the first baseman. And that will wrap this inning up, as we're going to the bottom of the fourth. As you can see, Pilkington's still in, as Corbin Carroll's up to bat here, as he's going to take that strike there, as it's now an 0-1 count. And that's going to be fouled off for an 0-2 count now. I wouldn't really expect any of our pitchers to make or to be called up in the first little batch of call-ups, just because they still have a lot to prove. Blake Battenfield probably I see happening, as that's going to go right by Remillard, as this will be a base hit, as I don't know why he didn't go to second, but it will in fact just be a single. Up to bat now there is Michael Toglia, as he grounded out in his first plate appearance, as he's 0 for 1 to start off the day, and that will make it an 0-1 count as well. Looks like the guy at first has a decent amount of speed to him, as this will just be missed by Ronald Escalona, as that will be crucial, as that will get that runner to third, as that could have been easily a double play, but instead he misses the play and doesn't quite make it. This will be just a routine double play here, as that will be the first 2 outs of this inning, but Jackson will score a run, making it 1-0. Ellis is up to bat here, so he's going to take a strike there, as it's now an 0-1 count. This will be right to AJ Reid, who will make the catch this time, as he will just tap it out, and that will be the final out of the 4th inning. Up to bat now we have Tim Beckham, who's 0 for 1 on the day so far, but definitely can turn that ease, as he's going to swing on a changeup there, as that is a strike, making it an 0-1 count. Tim Beckham's going to swing at that one, as that will be right to the right fielder, and that will be the first out of the inning. Up to bat now we have Zach Remillard, who's 0 for 1 on the day. I believe he popped out his first at bat, as he's going to look at a fastball there inside the zone for a ball, making it a 1-0 count. As Remillard's going to hit this, but that will be caught by Christian Robinson out in center field for the out in the 2nd of the inning. Up to bat we have Ronald Escalona for his 3rd at bat. 1 for 2 on the day so far. He struck out in his last one, as he's heading that way again, as he swings at a very low pitch, making it an 0-1 count. He's going to tip this one here, and that will be fouled off for an 0-2 count. And he'll swing and miss, as that's a strikeout, and that'll end the top of the 5th inning here, as it looks like the struggles on offense just continue for us. Up to bat is Christian Robinson, who's 0 for 1 on the day so far, as he got called out on a strikeout for the last time, but it was a very generous call, because that's going to be called a strike, as they say he broke his wrists on that one, so it will be in fact be a strike, as he's going to swing this, and that's going to be hit by Remillard, who's going to have to make a play here, and he does not quite do it, as the speed of Christian Robinson will be just enough to get him to first base, and that will be considered a base hit. Up to bat now is Dominic Margelio, who is 1 for 1 on the day so far, as this one's going to go foul, as that's going to make it a 1-1 count, as that very easily could have put them up by a lot more, as that will also be fouled off for a 1-2 count. This will find the gap, and that will in fact be a base hit, and that will be now runners at first and second. It looks like Pilkington's starting to lose a little bit of control. And with that, let's go ahead and warm up some pitchers. Jose Ruiz and then Ian Hamilton as well, just to kind of get some people warmed up. We're going to get them to pop out here, which is good. We really like that. As William Jang is not going to quite make the catch, and he will tag him out at second as well, as that was a very, very shaky play, but William Jang capitalizes, makes the catch, and gets the out at second, as they thought he might have dropped it, as he might have done that to fool the defense, as Christian Robinson will get tagged out at second, as there's now 2 outs here in the 5th inning. And that will be popped up yet again, as William Jang will be there, and he will not make the catch, as he's going to be forced to make the throw here, and he will not do that this time, as this time he could not pull that off as he did last time, as that will be an error on his part. It's going to be a slider there, as that's going to be called a ball on the play. It's not a 1-0 count. He's going to swing at that slider, however, and that will be a 1-1 count. It's now a 1-2 count here. As you can see, Connor Pilkington's getting a little tired out there. This is probably the longest he's ever lasted, as that will be a strikeout, and that will end this inning, as Pilkington's just kind of on a roll besides a few key mistakes, but overall he's been doing really well in this game. Up to bat now, we have William Jang, who's 1 for 1 with a base hit today, as he's looking to keep that wonderful day going, as he will hit it to the second baseman, and that will be just a routine play for the out, as he's now 1 for 2 on the day. Up to bat, we have AJ Reid, who's 0 for 2 today, as this has just not really been his day, as he's going to foul this one off here, making it 0-1. He's really kind of picked it up in the last 3 games, as that little display showed that he's had 5 home runs in his last 3 games, which he's only gotten 5, well, not only, but he's gotten 5, as that's going to be yet another ball there, 5 on the season. But this Generals team is definitely better than the Trash Pandas for sure, as we're going to swing at that and miss, and it's now a 2-2 count. But as I was saying, yeah, this Generals team is just a better defensive team than Rocket City for sure. As he's going to swing and misses. He's now 0 for 3 on the day, as that's the 9th strikeout by JB Bukakus, as he's looking for a shutout possibly. Up to bat now with Matt Skol, who is 0 for 2. He's going to look at a ball here, as he's 1-0 now in the count. As you just saw there, it looks like Bukakus still has a lot of energy left, as he's going to throw another ball here, making it a 2-0 count. So we really kind of have to make him work for each and every at-bat now, as it's going to be called a strike, as it's now a 2-1 count. Yeah, but still in Skol's favor, though. That's going to be another ball here, as that's a 3-1 count now for Skol, as he's definitely in favor here, as he has a pitch or 2 to work with here. As he'll get walked here, I believe that's his first of the season. That's a great sign that he's starting to take walks, possibly with patience, and which is exactly what we need from our veterans on this team. So that's going to be another ball here. So it looks like JB might be losing a little bit of control out there, as that's, I believe, his 3rd in a row, 3rd or 4th in a row. As this is going to be hit right in between the gap by Mike Rodolfo, and that'll put Skol at second and him at first. Up to bat now, we have Daniel Gonzalez, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts today up to this point, as he's going to look at a strike here, and that's going to make it an 0-1 count. And Daniel Gonzalez is going to hit this one, as that's going to be dropped, and we're going to send the runner home, as he's going to have to make an effort here, and as he will get in, and that will be a run, tying up this ball game, as Skol will get to the home plate, tying up this ball game. As you can see him clapping at the catcher, talking a little bit of smack, which is very well deserved for scoring that run. Looks like they're talking with JB a little bit here, as he's starting to let things slip just a little bit too much, as they're possibly going to start looking at replacing him in the upcoming inning. As Tomsha is going to hit this one, as that's going to be fair, as that's going to send another runner home, as this is going to send the runner to third, as Gonzalez will gladly and safely glide on into third, as we now have a runner at first and third, as that's an RBI for Tomsha, I believe his 1st or 2nd of the year. Tim Beckham's up to bat now, as he's going to call a timeout here. And with that, let's go ahead and check in the bullpen, and we will be putting in Ian Hamilton for this upcoming inning, as Pilkington's day has been done, as he's overall been really impressive. Tim Beckham's going to swing and foul this one off, as that's an 0-1 count now, as he's 0 for 2 on the day so far, as his average has dropped to below 300, which is definitely not what you want to see from a leader, to have his average drop. But overall, still being really solid on defense and providing leadership on offense, as he's going to foul this one off as well, so it's a 1-2 count now. As this is going to be closely, or that's going to be close to being hit, as that's a ball for making it 2-2 here, as he's going to foul this one off, as it's still a 2-2 count, as JB is looking at pitches up into the 70s at the moment, as he's going to get Beckham to swing out as that hits the dirt, and that will be the final out of the 6th inning. But we do take the lead here, as it's a 2-1 game now, as we will now be seeing Ian Hamilton come on in, who's been in 3 games so far. His ERA is a little high, but he's not walked any batters, and his last appearance was kind of what really skyrocketed that ERA, because before it was fairly low, but the last time we saw him, he allowed a decent amount of runs. As that's going to be a strike here, as that will be an 0-1 count, as Carroll will hit this on over to Tim Beckham, who will make the play, and that will be an out, the first of the bottom of the 6th. Up to bat now, we have Michael Tolia, as Jang's going to have to make a play here, and he does. That's going to be a great play by him out and left for the out, the second of this 6th inning. As Hamilton's going to throw a slider here, where it looks like that's going to be a ball, and that will be a 1-0 count, as this will be hit over to Escalona, who's going to be forced to make the play, and he does, and that will be the final play of this 6th inning, as that seemed to be a fairly straightforward inning and a fairly easy one on defense. Up to bat now, we have Zach Remillard, who's 0 for 2 on the day so far, but he's looking to turn that around, as he will just hit this over to third, and that's not the way to do it, as that will be the first out of the top of the 7th inning. Up to bat now, we have Ronald Escalona, who started off with a double but has striked out twice since, and definitely hoping to not have the 3rd strikeout, as that would be JB's 10th on the day, I believe. As he's looking at an 0-1 count now, as he's going to hit this over to third, and that's ground out, and he will not quite get him, as he was pulled off the plate there, and that will be called an error instead of a base hit. Up to bat now with William Jang, who's 1 for 2 with a walk today, as that's going to be a ball here for a 1-0 count. William Jang is probably one of the more patient hitters, because he kind of has to be able to get just the right pitch, as he's going to pop this one up, and that will be just a routine fly out for the second baseman, and that will make it the second out of the 7th inning. AJ Reid's up to bat now, as he's going to hit this one well, as that's going to be towards the right field, and that will be off the wall, and that couldn't quite be caught by the right fielder, as that will advance the runner to third, as I thought that was possibly going to be a home run, and then possibly even caught out after it looked to be just short. But instead it bounces off the wall. AJ Reid only gets a single out of it, but he advances the runner all the way over to third, as that was a great play from AJ Reid. So it looks like they're going to pull JB, and they're going to put in Kevin McCanna, who looks like he's had a really great season to start, not allowing a single run up to this point. He's been in 3 games with 3 innings, but hopefully we can turn that around with a runner at third, as Skol is up to bat now, who is 1 for 2 on the day. Sorry, 0 for 2 on the day with a walk, as he's looking to hopefully get that runner in from third. As he's going to swing at one here, as that was just not a great idea, as it's now an 0-2 count. And he's going to get him to swing here, and just like that, that will be the final out of the top of the 7th inning here. As now we're going to the bottom of the 7th, up 2-1. And Hamilton's going to throw a fastball here, which is going to be a nod for relief, as he's going to go to 95 now. He's seen fastball for 95 as it's a 1-2. He's going to get him to strike out there, as that's a 96 mile an hour, as we see him go from 94 all the way to 96 with that at bat, the first out of this 7th inning. Up to bat now, we have Christian Robinson, who is 0 for 1 on the day, 0 for 2, sorry. 1 for 2, sorry. Looking at a 97 mile an hour fastball, as it seems like it just keeps getting faster and faster. As Christian Robinson pops this one deep in center, but Mike Rodolfo will be there out of the 7th inning, or the second out of the 7th inning. I still don't know quite how to pronounce his name, but Margelio time today, as he will get a pop out here, and that will be the final out of the 7th inning, as we're going to go into the 8th. Adolfo is going to just hit this one straight to the third baseman, as that will be the first out, and that's just a routine catch for the third baseman. Off the bat now, we have Daniel Gonzalez, who's going to swing at a changeup here that was low and away, which was probably not the best idea, but still miss, and it's a 0-1 count. He's going to foul this one. Will be just a regular play, as that's going to be the second out of the 8th inning. As he's going to stop, just 2 for 3 on the day so far, making it an 0-1 count against Greer. He's going to swing at that changeup, sorry, and Adolfo will be there for the catch. What's the best at that, as this is going to count, as that will be fouled off here. He's going to swing at mid of the season so far, and Jose Ruiz is really proving that he can be dominant against batters. 0 for 3 on the day so far. It up for Tomsha out and right, who will make, but he still makes it, ending the 8th inning for scheduled to put Shriver in to close out the bottom of the 9th, as Beckham's up to bat, who looks like he's kind of been in a little bit of a as we kind of hope to turn, and that will make it an 0-3 count, as it's going to be who's also 0 for 3 on the day, making it a 1-0 count for a 2-0 count for Zach Remillard. And he's going to foul this one off here. Still ahead in the count, and he still has a pitch, as he's going to foul this one off, as that's going to be another ball here. As one more ball will walk him, and one more strike will be a strikeout. So although he won't get a hit today, he does get a walk, which is still quite nice. Who's 2 for 4 on the day, or sorry, 1 for 4. He got on base last time due to an error, as he will just hit that right to the third baseman for the second out. And that will, in fact, keep the runner at first. As it looks like their pitcher has been removed from the game because he has both hands on his back. They think that he's just a little stiff and he needs to be taken out. And now William Jang is up to bat, and he's 1 for 3. As they put in Ryan Atkinson, who might not be fully warmed up here. That's going to be a curveball for a strike. as that's going to be a swing and a miss, as that's the 0-2, as it looks like this could be the last batter that we see from Birmingham today, as it's an 0-2 count with 2 outs in the 9th inning, as Jang's going to swing and miss for a strikeout here, as that will be the final out of the top of the 9th, as we will see if Hunter Shriver, sorry about that message, if Hunter Shriver can in fact get another save on the season. He has 1 save out of 2 opportunities. He's 1-0 on the season as well. He's a 3.0 ERA. He's not allowed a single hit against a righty. And he has a .100 average, a 100 average against lefties. So I don't know why I'm warming up here. He's perfectly fine. So let's just get on into this, as we're going to face our first batter, Corbin Carroll, who's 1 for 3 on the day. He's going to look at a knuckle curve there for a strike, making an 0-1 count. That will be fouled off here for an 0-2 count here. As Corbin Carroll is down in the count now, 0-2. He will pop this one up here for William Jang, and Jang will not quite be able to get there on time, as that will be a base hit for Carroll. Michael Toglia is up to bat now, so he's going to swing and miss at that, as that's going to be a 0-1 count now for him, as he needs to get something together here, as he's fouling that one off, as it's 0-2, so he's 1 for 3 on the day up to this point, and he's going to swing and miss at that, as that's going to be the first out of the 9th, one that they could not really spare, but instead they are down and out now, and they have runner first, as Shriver's going to catch that, as he's not going to know what to do, as he's still going to get the runner out at first, as that just, he seemed really confused that he actually caught that on the play, as that could have been a double play, but instead that's just 1 out, leading Drew Ellis to the plate, who's 0 for 3 on the day so far, and there is 1 out remaining in this 9th inning, and they need to score, as he's going to look at a strike here, and he's going to be 0-1 now in the count. He's going to swing and miss at that changeup there, as he's now 0-2 in the count, as Hunter Shriver has a chance here to put this game away and win it, as he's going to swing and miss for the strikeout there, and just like that, the Birmingham Barons will win the first game of the series 2-1 against the Jackson Generals, as this was a defensive game throughout the whole game. I'd like to say that we capitalized on a lot of mistakes made by the Generals. Their pitcher, J.B. Bukakus, had a really good day. Connor Pilkington also had a really good one as well. Shriver gets credited with the save, Pilkington with the win. I'd like to say on offense, I'd probably give Dominic Margelio the player of the game on offense, because he 2 for 4 in RBI. Just an all-around solid day. We didn't have any home runs, which is to be expected. I mean, against this great pitching staff and this great defensive team, I wasn't really expecting much there. Let's see, defensively, Beckham made a lot of good plays. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Overall, we were pretty good on defense as well. We did allow 6 runs, though. Not 6 runs, 6 hits, which really isn't that much, but still, I feel like we allowed most of that in kind of the middle innings, towards Connor Pilkington's the last part of the time he was in, and then like just kind of in that little grace period. But we did still take this one, as we're now up 1-0 in the series, as we moved to 5-1 on the season, as this is a really great start for us, and I'm very excited about that. As with that being said, I do hope you enjoyed this one, and I will catch you in the next one.